What is up, everybody? This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, doing a little live daily market review a little early so that we can try to catch the close, keep an eye on things. And yeah, I'm going to record this here in a couple minutes. I'm trying to let everybody in. If you're newer to the channel, please check out the description below. You'll have the Discord room, and also there's a link to the CME Fed Fund futures for what's going to happen tomorrow with the Feds, FOMC, what the projections are. Again, the link is in the live chat, also in the description if you're looking to get in. Again, this room is not meant for beginners. It's not meant for people who are trying to get easy answers. It's for the people who are looking to dominate in trading. And what does that mean is control their emotions, know what's happening, be very thoughtful, be very aware, trade at a clip where they're winning 80 to 90% of the time. And it's not because they're over trading, it's because they're doing what? Being patient, letting the setups play out, knowing that the market is meant to take the most amount of money for the most amount of people. So if I can get a mic check real quick. Again, here's the Discord room. I'll start things here in a second. Just want to make sure people can hear me. It's always a good starting point. And then go from there. Let me see, type this in. Can y'all hear me? Sounds good? Okay, perfect. Give it another second, let folks get in. I mean, I think it's really obvious to me what's going on with the market, and I'll just say it before we get started. You know, the market's trying to entrench bulls in to make the wrong moves, do the wrong things. Part of doing such is what? Chopping, bouncing, holding certain levels, doing things as you kind of predict. And when I say predict, it's like what we kind of anticipated. We talked about SPY holding 400, area for 395 potentially. And just knowing that at some point there was going to be a pop. So people who are shorting today, I mean, I think particular names might be better at certain levels, but in general, try to be patient here. So if you have questions as I'm doing the live review, interrupt me if it's related to the name. If not, at the end, I will gladly open it up. I'm going to try to see if I can get through a live recap or live review in like 30 minutes. So on that note, let's do the damn thing. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your actually live daily market review for, what was it, Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. Last day of the month. Hopefully you're doing well, being smart, trading around your positions, being aware of your surroundings, know what's going on, expecting the market to do what? Play games before the news. Be careful if you're all in short, all in long, you are just begging to get blown out, make a mistake. Be thoughtful, have cash. Be prepared. First mouse gets the trap, second gets the cheese. Let's talk about what we're going to happen. So you have the market up, right? Not surprised. We talked about the SPY getting between 395, 400. It got down to 400 2 days in a row. That was the day low. We bounced. Now what? Well, I like this if I'm a bear. And people are like, whoa, what do you mean you like this? Well, think about it. You have to reward bulls constantly at inflection points, which we'll show in charts from previous tops and bottoms, so that they give up, right? Like, people are starting to be in disbelief of what? There's a bear market, right? There's a recession coming. That earnings matter. Like, everybody's trying to pivot and look forward, which, again, I think that's the right way to look at things, ultimately. But here's the biggest, what I would consider bugaboo out there is that it feels very trappish. I think, if anything, the recession will get ultimately much worse as interest rates and the dollar start to pick up. And if they don't, then the market is going into the recession quickly and showing. I mean, the economic data is falling off a cliff. Jobs numbers are worsening. There's a lot of little things going on. So, what's the secret? Yeah, well, Hank, you're just not allowed, potentially. I try not to, up-and-comers, newer folks, they can post in the side rooms. So, anyway, back to my point. I think you're just going to see this reward of buying and chopping. Now, going into the very close of the day, you're either going to have a squeeze, the market's going to be sold off because they're going to take profits because it's the end of the month, or we probably hold around support resistance, which, SPY 405 approximately. So, knowing that, what's tomorrow going to bring? Well, we really don't know. There is going to be a 25 basis point rate hike. I mean, if you look at the Fed Fund futures, I mean, it's basically a lock. 97.6%. I mean, I've never seen them do anything that wasn't at least 67%. Oh, did we just move? Oh, they put someone thought they might rate cut. That's starting to show up, and that's a kind of a joke. No, or stay the same. I think they're going to go up. Current, right? Here's what they're going to go to. People are saying 50 basis point rate hike, like the odds are literally zero. So that's not happening. So, I mean, does it matter at this point? I've said this over and over. I think the Feds are going to try to do what they always do and stay consistent until they don't have to. And what is that? They said in December they're not going to be cutting rates this year. They don't want to admit that they need to cut rates right at this point. I've said it, and I'll say it over and over again. Every video, if I have to, they're going to use jawboning as a technique to try to manipulate the market to believe that they're going to do certain things that they might not do later. And they're going to hold on to these fibs, lies, beliefs, or just promotion of a certain narrative to get people to think stuff. And so they love that people are talking about rate cuts, right? And they love to see the market stabilize. Like, it doesn't hurt them. And then when they come out and say, oh, we're not going to do that, people go, oh, maybe the economy's not that bad. Why is the market's rising? It's like, okay, we'll see what happens. Again, never been a soft landing in my history of trading where the Fed started raising rates. Never have I seen a bear market bottom with a VIX in the 30s. So the market, again, whether it fails tomorrow, not even tomorrow, more like probably Thursday or Friday, it doesn't matter in the sense of like you don't know. But we do know at some point it will roll over later on. It's just the timing. So give yourself time. If you're day trading, wasting your time. If you're swing trading but giving yourself till next week, good luck. Like, again, play out your positions in your mind. What would happen if you're wrong, and can you minimize those losses? So again, if you're newer and want to get in the Discord room, links in the description below, links in the video. This is only meant for the people who really want to learn, not for the people who are just asking for easy answers and handouts. Because again, if you want to be the best at anything, you got to expect to give 110% effort, and you're not just doing the minimal amount to get by. Again, hit me up on Twitter. I apologize. It's the new process. Like, again, for some reason, when I try to post from Twitter directly on eSignal, it's not working. I'm in talks with them, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. We'll go from there. Hopefully you watch this video, how to trade the markets Monday and Tuesday preceding the FOMC meeting. The easy answer is don't really do much. Just wait. These days are choppy, sloppy, up and down, very thin volume-wise, because no one's going to make a decision. Who is going to go all in long before the FOMC meeting? Who's going to short? No, you need to know the news. Buy the rumor, sell the news, sell the rumor, buy the news, whatever. All right, Bitcoin, high and tight. Just holding up here. I've said this a million times. Doesn't have a dividend, just like gold, has to be traded. There are times where the stuff has gone nowhere, say, for example, 2017 to 2020. At this point, I would think that it's probably in a holding pattern waiting for the dollar. Oil, nice little rally. I mean, it's oversold. We talked about this. I still think it's probably going to either spike up, which the Feds are going to hate, and interest rates are definitely not coming down. And we've talked about CPI entrenching around 5-6%. That's the Feds hate that. Or it's coming back down in the 60s, and they want to blow everything out. I mean, if I'm the Feds, rip the Band-Aid off. Get it done. Stop playing the game. Because at a certain point, you're going to put yourself in a position where you didn't raise fast enough, and then you're going to have to re-raise more later. Just get it out of the way. I think people don't realize, like, that's probably the safest thing for them, is get it out of the way. Because if they keep waiting, guess what? It's going to go into an election. And I'm telling you right now, the Feds do not want to have pause rates and try to seem indifferent going into a 2024 election. If anything, get it done now. And maybe the market can stabilize out in the next 12 to 18 months. That said, oil, tough to know. If you bought the dip, congrats. If you're not, cool. Not gas. I mean, here's the thing. I said it I think I've said it for like 3 weeks straight. I don't know. Whoever's listening can confirm this. Leave it alone. You don't see bottoms when everyone's like, nat gas is cheap. You just don't really see that. And again, it could bounce sooner or later, and I think it's possible. But what if it's just like this, right? What if it's just this action? It just plays games like gold. Remember we talked about gold bottoming in the last FOMC meeting in November? Or the November meeting? Like how it was like, man, it's been down here so long and trapping. Maybe it makes sense that it's due to bounce. Hope that makes sense. Keep it simple, stupid. All right. Zadala. Make you holla. Holla. Talked about it getting over the 8 and 10 day. Now it's holding up. Now what? I mean, I'm not surprised it chopped. And honestly, it hit the upper side of the range. It backed off. Now could it get down into the low, like mid? It's not mid or low. 2720s area. That could happen. You could see a quick surge down, like bounce back. Not. I mean, I expect the dollar to go higher at some point. The Feds give way more crap about the dollar and fiscal solvency and people using the dollar abroad than they care about the stock market. I mean, let's be honest. Okay? So, Any issues with audio, just double checking it. It looks like the input capture is a little off, but I just want to double check before I continue on. I'll continue on. Someone will just give a comment. TLT, Tiddle. We talked about it. Interest rates in the market. Okay, it's working. Cool, great. People keep talking about, all right, well, if a recession comes, the rates will go lower, TLT higher. Yeah, that's really how it works. As of right now, the TLT is not screaming higher. The recession is on the doorstep. Audio gain is a little hot. Okay, it feels a little hot. Hot mic. Maybe that helps. We're stuck in this range. You don't really know. Now, people keep talking about there's a huge short interest in the treasury market, which, I mean, well, yeah, when inflation dies, maybe this is when it rallies and creates the big squeeze. Cool. Thanks, James. Maybe that's when you get the big squeeze. Okay? But as of right now, I mean, just because the short interest is high doesn't necessarily mean what? TLT has to go higher. Yeah, unless there's a liquidity event that creates it. And maybe it does. And again, I personally don't. I think interest rates are going to go higher because they're stuck and they need to stamp out inflation. But this is where we're making history as we speak, and so you have to just watch the levels, right? 200-day 0.618 old highs, gets over it, bullish. Hangs out here. To me, it feels like it's just a lower high looking to roll over. The VIX, man, nice little pullback to the 19s. Not surprised it gets up here a little bit and pulls back. Could it fill the gap? I mean, absolutely. I mean, we talked about you can short the market every time it gets down here, but do you want to buy the market on these pops? I mean, I don't. I'd rather just wait. Wait. SPY, let's get into it. We talked about the 400 level being support potentially. You got it. Was hoping 395. This area like back tested the trend line. Didn't get it. Now we're just at yesterday's highs. You know, Thursday's highs. Old resistance back in here. Again, the market's, is it going to really take off before the Feds? No. Not in my opinion. Like that makes no sense. And if it is, it's a trap. It would absolutely be a trap. I wouldn't trust it for a second. Because it'd be probably on some fake BS headline. All right, so now what? Wait. Now, if you want to layer into shorts up here, it makes sense. Wait for the extremes. Wait for your prices. Wait for anything that you think is going to, like, again, less is more here kind of situation. You know, the hard trade's probably the right thing. Waiting, probably. Waiting for the extremes. You know how the FOMC day goes if you've been following. Again, I have a video on it. It's going to be choppy. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be up and down. It's going to be all over the place. It's going to mess with people's heads. Like the first move will probably be the trap. The second move will be the real move. But then maybe it's like we've talked about, and Eric, good friend, follower, has been talking about this forever. Like started noticing, like maybe it's the Thursday. You know, maybe it's the Thursday. All right, good. I'm glad someone's told me the mic. I got multiple people telling me that. Maybe it's the Thursday. Maybe it's Friday because the jobs number. I mean. It's one of those things, like I can't remember the last time I saw jobs, FOMC, in the banger of earnings with Amazon, Apple, and Google all on within 3 days. I mean, you've literally had three of the most important days of the quarter all right there. Pretty wild. So see what happens here. If it squeezes a little bit, I mean, don't be surprised. But again, we still got an hour to go. I'm very curious to see how the end of the day goes because I personally think we might be into this, like, again, profit taking. If I had a bunch of money, right? If you had a bunch of money, whatever you want to say, institutionally wise, do you want to take some profits? Do you want to roll the dice in front of the FOMC last day of the month? Because literally, the market's up 10%. You're running hot. You're doing well. QQQ lagging today, right? As the SPY gets right back up towards the highs, this one's lagging, chopping at the 200-day. Not surprised. It's the IWM. Now, here's the anomaly, right? Uh-oh. Breaking out. Volume, suspect. Now, we've talked about how you get like these nice-looking green big boner candles near the highs, maybe at the lows. I don't know. Again, I personally feel like it's what I would do if I was the market makers was give the people the absolute opportunity to do what? Hang themselves, give them their own rope, like get them excited about bullishness, feed them all the headlines they want to hear to make them feel comfortable holding through risky situations. Because keep in mind, you've got, I think, if I'm correct me wrong, I'm pretty sure you got the BOJ and ECB also doing their like FOMC meetings this week. And Bank of England as well. I mean, everybody's on top of it. So watch what happens here. Again, I mean, be careful. I mean, I was watching the whole day as the market was rising. I'm like, well, I don't think I should really short if this is leading up. Well, we'll see how the last hour plays out. Gold, all over the place pre-market. Now, and here's the thing about gold. You know, we talk about sentiment being very juicy for a short. Well, could it rally with, FOMC? Potentially. Either way, have your stops. Don't sit here and go, well, I'm going to short it and hold forever. Because if it just turned into a freaking epic run up, that'd be the dumb thing. However, the sentiment has gotten stupid. I mean, and again, maybe it's just because Twitter's algorithm picks them, but like everybody is screaming everything bullish about gold. And then look at the action. Chopping. Every headline seems extremely uber bullish. And what's it doing? Flopping, sideways, chopping. Silver, same kind of thing. Right? Remember at the end, we'll have free open mic. We can shout everything about everything and everyone here coming up. I'm trying to get through this quick. There you go. 20-day. I mean, this looks like death trap. Absolute death trap, or it's a consolidation to go higher. Just remember, chop before the what? Pop or the drop. Chop, chop, chop before the pop or drop. GDXJ. Again, these things look like they're lagging. Below the 20-day, like miners lead, right? Coming off the lows first. For gold and silver, remember like gold and silver were down here like chopping, or at least gold was it. Remember had to retest the lows. This thing didn't even get close to the lows. Here, I'll show you again. Remember the same positioning, November, early November. Check out the GDXJ. Remember, miners lead. Here you go. Gold holding up, silver chopping. What are the miners doing? They don't look good. I'm just telling you, they don't look good. I could be wrong here, but based on the highest probability setup, that to me does not look good for metals. Miners, same thing, or GDX hits the max upside we thought back at the 20-day. The big ones are a little risk averse, but they don't lead too. They follow. So notice chopping at 20-day. AG, here's a big confusion signal, right? AG's at 11. No, it's not. It's at 7 and change. I'm sorry, that doesn't look bullish. Anyone say that looks bullish, I mean, you're lying to yourself. And meaning like confirming. It's more like maybe it could be a double bottom. I don't know. You could see a little W here. But to say like this is like confirming that you think metal should be rising and this is acting like complete poo, not good. Royal Gold. Sorry, not Royal. AEM hits the upside zone. I mean, I guess technically it didn't. Close enough for government work at the 20-day holding. Need more information. Newmont, this pig. Remember, this was a New York Stock Exchange glitch, slitch. We're back at resistance. 20-day, 200-day crossing. It's bullish. Not if it fails below it. It ain't. Pass. This thing hit the upper trend bound. I was just like, bang, fail. We'll see what happens here. AMD up into earnings after the close. Are you thinking about buying puts? I mean, I'd rather trade the reaction and do shares, honestly. I mean, we'll see what happens. Could it get up to the 200-day after hours? That's what I'd be watching for. I'd be watching for the 79.80 level. That's kind of the simple thing here. NVIDIA topped out, now lagging a little bit. Yeah, here's like the IWM boner that ends the game. And now it's kind of coming back. Do you want to buy these names? Are you going to tell me you're going to rationalize buying them for the long run? Get out of here. Come on, man. I've had the same rant. Tech gets wrecked. Taiwan Semi. Peaked first, sideways action, stuck under the 92 to 93 range. Things that aren't bullish, right? Keep that in mind. Just watch it. SMH, not surprised, hanging out here. Not surprised, hanging out here. I mean, I'd love to see 243, but if you've bought Soxus anywhere up in this area, the mid-20s, I feel like you've got to define risk. You're trading around it. I mean, it's worth the trade, in my opinion. Just be careful being huge into this. Unless you're again, I will be adding if this thing pops. And if it doesn't, I don't know. A buddy of mine keeps buying Planner, can confirm the stock is dead. I told him he was exit liquidity. Yeah, I mean, that's real. I mean, that's the thing. People are buying trash. Again, we talk about trash floats last. Thanks for reminding me of such. Like, it's just so obvious, right? Oh, yeah. All right, let's get through tech quick. Adobe chopping up here. near the highs. We'll see. I don't really trust it. Apple again coming into earnings. Does it have to hit 150? The 200-day area? Maybe. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Amazon, ChatGPT everywhere. Okay, yeah, we get it. At the 100-day, AWS is going to be involved in it. They're not making money on. They're definitely not making money on Prime, like selling goods and stuff. That business is just totally no margin. And then you throw in, people are like, Thursday Night Football might be a big deal. I'm like, that thing doesn't, I mean, remember, it's a $1 trillion company. If they're making a couple $100 million off of the ad revenue from TV rights, I mean, I don't know how much money they're but it doesn't move the needle. We'll see. CRM, remember people talking about getting into this position-wise, like certain institutions took, I think, more than a 5% interest. Gapped up. All right, here we go. 167 to 170, probably going to be important. Guggenheim holding under the 100 area. Man, I'd love to see up there. I don't know if you'll get it. Just keep an eye on it. Be patient. Snap after hours. Does Snap pull Meta down? 200 day. Again, if you have short, which we have a little bit, just be ready. Be ready after the close. Microsoft, Mr. Softy. Yeah. Hit 200 day after hours with earnings, and it's just been dead flat. I mean, it's hard to know. NDAQ is here again confirming the end of tech, the reign of tech. Remember, the volumes will die on the NASDAQ over time because nobody's going to be buying and trading tech. I'm just telling you that right now. That's what happens. Money rotates. Oh, but tech's the future. Tech is always the damn future. Go look at the past. Gosh, I mean, that comment always is like boggles my mind. It's like, you want to know how I know you don't know crap about trading? Is because you say tech is the future always. And that's all you ever scream when you look at companies. You don't even think that there's opportunities for other companies to do well. But Dan, tech is the future. It's always been the future. Numbnuts. MicroStrategy. And I sound like, again, a hypothetical person who says that, like, duh. Holding the 200 day, I'd watch what happens if it gets into 260. I think there might be a short there. Netflix, here you go. Should be up today. Chopping. Does it need to make an M? I don't know. I mean, I'm not adding to shorts here on this. Watching it makes sense to me, though. Good old Roblox holding up here around 30s, mid-30s, compressing. I mean, I think at some point they get bought out, but I think there might be better trades shorting the market than going long here. But compression, I mean, I'd love to see it come back down because I don't think it would last. Tesla, we got the topping signal. I mean, that's what people are saying. They're like, your boy Solomon said Tesla's all in. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. It's chopping up here. That's engulfing bar. Doesn't look good. I mean, it could be a chop top. Could it get to the 100 day? I don't know. You never know. You never know the quick reactions to the market. Let me throw in, feels like people might start running for the exits right now. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I would be. I mean, as we talked about, if I had money, institutional big money, and managing it, and we were up into the FOMC, absolutely I'm taking profits today. I mean, they were doing it Friday. They were doing it yesterday. I mean, duh. Meh. Oh, I don't look at the SPY on the 1 minute. Come on, man. You know better. You know, but I mean, I get it. You probably see it on there. Caterpillar, took a put in this into earnings. Closed out this morning. Added, I didn't realize I left some orders in. I added some puts right here at the 20 day. Small. We talked about being up into earnings, pretty dangerous. Well, look what happens. Gap down. Caterpillar been leading, not anymore? Question mark. As we get into the materials now, just think about it. X. U.S. Steel rose with some of the other good steel names getting choppy, not confirming. Nucor, nice move on earnings. Chopping. We'll see. It's right back near, I wouldn't say all-time highs, closer to than not. Holding up, but is it? VALE started what? Peeling. Hit the monthly, weekly trend line. Chopping. Topping. Whoa, arrow. Okay, copper. I hear you. I see you, bro. Did they have earnings? They must have had earnings. Give me 2 seconds. Because that move is something. That move is not normal, in my opinion. Give me 3 seconds. Arrow. They must have had earnings. Report. No, they didn't. Interesting. Okay, maybe an upgrade, downgrade. I don't know. But that's pretty strong. I mean, again, we talked about the 20-day being important. That's a sweet one-day move if you're trading it. Cool. See what happens. Stay over the low 16s. CCJ, been on fire for those uranium folks. But what do we say? Watch out. You've got a roof over your head coming up in the 27, 28 range. We'll see what happens. Kind of getting tired. CF, names that I would think would be leading up. Chopping here. Have a fetish. Not a fetish. Why do I keep saying that? I have a strong desire to see it fill this gap in the mid-70s. Mosaic holding here around 48, 50, somewhere in that range. 49. Not really confirming much. NTR looks a little better than these last two. Retesting the high. All right, we'll see what happens here. AA, sweet. I'm glad it popped. I mean, for the people who are looking to get out and exit liquidity. I mean, it's holding the 49s, which is not surprised. I mean, okay. I mean, things that were once leading. Let me just pop through a few of these other material names. Southern Copper, okay. It's holding up, chopping, been sideways. Freeport McMoran, chopping, okay. Nothing great. All right. Next, let's get into the financials. Back up against the range highs. FAS called to time to short, maybe? Question mark. We'll see. There's your channel high, as we've talked about. I doubt we're getting over that. Upside target zone, whatever. We'll see what happens here. That's higher. I mean, you could always see a freaking long wick at any point. That's the hardest part here, because if you remember, like here was the long down. I mean, we open there, turn around. We'll see. Remember, if the market rises, that liquidity will be exits. That will be exits for people. I'm just telling you right now, they will. It's just whether it's right near term or immediately. JP Morgan chopping, right? Can't. Here's its earnings. Morgan Stanley, MS, gaps up on earnings, chopping, hard to tell. Goldman Sachs, so that's cool. It rallied some. Coming back, we talked about maybe we can get in this trend line. I mean, that wasn't the reaction, but here you go. People are buying trash. Remember, you're the exit liquidity, really, right? right. Yeah, we'll see what happens. XBI chopping here under the 90 level. Tough to know, right? Solar, not surprised it rallied today, right? I mean, oil popped. It's chopping here. Again, look for the shorts. I mean, you could probably re-enter some First Solar stuff right now. Not surprised Sedge, E&P fill in the gap. Makes sense. What's to do after that? Good question. Sedgerton. This is getting into the short zone for sure. See what happens. See what happens here shortly. Just let me stretch this out. There you go. Draw. This is a trend. It's clearly a trend. I mean, do you want to put it there? Or do you want to put it there? Either way, it plays out somewhere in this box. You're getting close. First Solar, not surprised. I got up here to the 175. Check out the 10-minute. I've got this drawn. Here you go. Humps and lady lumps. Head and shoulders within a head and shoulders and double bottom. I mean, this thing is a wily coyote. Is it going to run off the cliff? Yo, maybe. Nice call on, thanks, James. I know, AB, is it Acoustic? Is that your name? On the Discord room. I can confirm that you're talking about the market pulling back a little bit. Yeah, look at it. I mean, I don't look at the 1 minute. You can see it on the 10-minute. We'll get into that here shortly. Solar, yeah. Let's end it with oil, and then I'll stop recording, and then also go on to open mic. This is where all the good stuff is. Stick around. I promise we'll talk about some things that I probably forget to talk about because it's hard to remember 30 minutes of content and all the notes and all the things I want to talk about. Oil hits the 50-day on the USO, bounces. Stuck. Makes a lower low. Is it making a lower high? Yeah. Nat gas. Man, I mean, it makes sense down here. I mean, that's the hardest thing. It's like you can't rationalize not. Everyone's like, look at the volume. It's like, yeah, I get it. Remember, it's one of these crappy deteriorating ETFs. It's just reverse splits. I can't remember how many times the USO is reverse split. Oh, there you go. Market kind of starting to get soft. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just personally would rather not. I think there's just better trades out there than longing natural gas. And people are like, whoa, Joey, why? I don't know. Oil, man, wow, Exxon 110. Chopping up under the monthly trend line. Again, do we break out? I'm going to say probably not. Oxy, Professor Xavier had this trade on. Shorted it, took his gains. I mean, man, I don't know. I think it's coming back down lower at some point, but trade around your position. That's the way to do it. That's the way. PX Dizzle. Again, every day I'm like, oh, oil, and this is it. It's like, something looks wrong. EQT, oil, natural gas, man. It's just brutal. Just absolutely brutal. So, at this point going into tomorrow, we said it 1,000 times. Prepare to trade the extremes. Know your levels. Know your extremes. Do not get caught in this intraday action expecting big moves, because if you are, you literally are the biggest sucker target out there. And when I say big moves, expecting something, think about it. Think like the market maker. Stop thinking how you want the market to move and think about what's happening here. The market's going to play this game of chop until the news comes out. And then when the news comes out, then it'll react accordingly. So keep all this in the back of your mind. Please stop thinking about what you want the market to do because you have a position. I'm telling you, once you get to the consciousness above that, trading changes. And you don't even realize how dumb you are. I was. Anybody is until you get to that point. So I appreciate all the love, support, super chats, any of that kind of stuff, man. It makes a difference to me. I mean, again, because I see people investing in the channel, investing in our cause. It makes me give a crap about how they're doing, because again, I don't want to see anybody fail, but if you really do care to get involved, then yeah, I mean, it's almost like now you're a friend, now you're somebody who I'm watching. And again, I watch all you guys. I try to take notes on everybody, what they're up to, and scroll through the chat. So I can talk about some of y'all's issues individually, but I mean, I have my own. No one's perfect. So all right, I'm gonna stop the recording. Open mic. What y'all got? Let's go look at the SPY. 10-minute. Okay. I mean, do we have to get up to the 405? I mean, I guess you got up towards these wicks. Again, I haven't really been watching much today. It just didn't make really much sense to me. It seems like a waste of time. Is that another lower high? Uh-oh. We'll see. I mean, here's your like head and shoulder. I'm like, come on, put it in frame. Head and shoulders retest. Can you get a double top? I mean, you know, if you've been following, you know all the different like ways to stretch this around and play the game. And it's like, me personally, I look at it from this point of view very easily. Like, I just don't know. So if I'm going to take a shot in the dark and gamble on what's going to happen, I'd rather just wait for the extremes. Almost like let it play out. So where's the next? Okay. It's interesting. Check this out. Let's see if the 120 shows it. There's too many fibs. Yeah, there you go. Could you get up to the 414? I don't know. You never know. That's the thing. I mean, keep in mind, like the Fed, if you're not familiar, please watch the video on it. It's going to be choppy. It's going to be sloppy. PLRTR, plantar, whatever, plantar fasciitis. PLTR. I mean, I remember this one came out and everybody bought the hype on it. It's like, crap. Oh, God, I didn't realize that. Oh, wow. You are exit liquidity. Yeah, tell your friend that. He is exit liquidity. Now, again, these names can go sideways. I mean, they're just trash. You pick up trash, it stinks. Do you want to take it to the pawn shop, try to trade it in? I don't know. I wonder if they can't raise rates at least with the debt ceiling issues. No, it doesn't matter. I mean, at a certain point, they might get stuck, but here, tomorrow is coming. The Fed Fund Futures is going. They are going to raise a quarter point. They are going. Let's look at the March ones. They are going to raise another quarter in May. Now it starts to get a little sticky. Do they stick to one and wait? Maybe, but then let's look at June. June and July is where you probably get the third rate hike. Little sticky maybe there. July, maybe sticky. Okay, well maybe they're not expecting. I mean, again, you're kind of... Oh, here you go. All right, September. That's when it's supposed to be coming, I guess. Right? Hold on. Ray? No, again, maybe they don't know. But keep in mind, here you go, 50-50 essentially, 33-33 by November. Either way, if you're listening to this and you're asking a question about the Fed's doing what because of the debt ceiling, yeah, I mean, that's always been the issue with these idiots that are in control. And I think at a certain point, I don't know what the right answer is. Do you want to control the reserve? You want to be the reserve currency, or do you want to blow out? You want to lose credibility? If I saw the text correctly on your chart, looks like he may have shorted it in the past. Who, your friend? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, buying the box. Once the box broke, game over. El partido está, was it abierto, over? Yeah, any other thoughts, questions, concerns? I mean, I appreciate everybody. I know it's hard to be patient. This is the thing. It's like, if you've ever played poker, you're waiting for pocket aces. You're waiting for the better setups. You're waiting for the extremes. You're not sitting here going, well, I got to trade every minute of the day and try to do this. I'm telling you, if you try to force trades, you will get forced into bankruptcy. I mean, that's literally what happens. They will blow out your account, and I can confirm that. I'm pretty sure 95% of the people following can confirm that, because that's the odds of who blows out at least one time. I mean, I'm not immune from that statistic, and I tell you, like, it's because, yeah, I thought I was smarter than the market. I thought I was like Xavier SM. I'm making a bunch of good trades, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to short today, this pop, and hope it comes back. Versus, you know what, I just made some money. I'm going to pay myself, pay my taxes, maybe throw down a 20 spot or something. I don't know, whatever, educational fee, whatever you want to call it, for helping me out and being there for being a bro. No, it's like, oh, I got a short UPS. I'm like, oh, good God. UPS's numbers, who really gives a crap, right? I mean, it's bad news is good news, good news is good news. Here it is. I mean, if I remember right, they had earnings, before the open. Remember, well, it's not like Caterpillar, like up at the highs, right? This is like mid-range. Shorting today, I don't know why you would short that. Maybe I see a reference around 183. It's just so close in front of the FOMC. I don't really expect much. Now, if you're expecting the Hail Mary end of game, end of day action to blow this out, maybe that's your, that's the thing, right? The shot clock's running out. The game's almost over. And when Kansas City's losing to the Eagles in 2 Sundays from now, they're going to have to throw a bomb at the end of the game and hope to win it. But they'll probably still be down 21 points. But it doesn't matter at that point. I wouldn't short this post earnings, right? Let's look at Snap. I'm just curious. Snap, crackle, pop. And if you got any questions, please interrupt me. I don't mind. I'm just kind of bored here. Yeah, I mean, if you've been short this stuff, I mean, people love to look at this action and they go, that's bullish. That's going to the moon. I got to buy this crap. And man, it's like, what do you think? You don't realize your exit liquidity. You've been exit liquidity if you've been buying this. Now it's trading, but the smart money dumped this and unloaded. And now it's like a trade. It's just a game of crap. You hope, you buy the lows, and then it flops, and then you hope, and then it flops, and then you buy it again, and you hope one more time. And maybe it does pop, but then you don't sell, and you wait it out, and you go, Snap sounded pretty crappy, but you know what? They're going to turn it around, and you've rationalized that you're going to turn a trade into an investment, and then you go into the twilight zone. Your brain starts losing comprehension of how the market actually works. You start reading every article about Snapchat going, well, it's got to go higher. It's got to go higher. It's got to go higher. The earnings to this, and the reaction was that. It's got to go higher. And then it comes right back down. Maybe they get bought out. Again, I don't know. I'm just talking about like the cycle of psychology of people buying trash. Oh, it's going higher. Now let me look at the articles out there. Oh, they're all bullish. They're all bullish. You are the exit liquidity. I love that saying today. I saw that. I was like, that is really the truth. You are the exit liquidity. Oh, I heard many massive quantity of their spectacles are in the warehouse unsold. Oh, oh yeah, the Snap spectacles. Those things are cool. About as cool as a hand job with sandpaper. Booyah! Booyakasha! Booyah. Booyah, Jim. Anyway, so I appreciate your interaction. I think this is James, right? In the chat room. I'm surprised I haven't called you. I literally have talked to almost everybody at some point. Everybody at some point in the Discord room who's been around for more than a couple months. Yeah, okay, cool. Always like to know what people are up to, how I can help them, and really, because I think people understand it, but the realization is like every mistake you've ever made in trading, I have witnessed it. I've been a part of it. I've been on the other side and seen it from the financial advisor version of this. It's like it's a big freaking game. How to take your money. Oh, I go into the casino and I expect the casino to pay me. No. Financial advisors are pulling their percentages. I mean, 1 to 2% fees on top of your cutting 1-2% of your long-term upside gains in the market is just, oh man, it's so much compounded over 20, 30 years. It's unbelievable. But you don't see it because it's like the slow bleeding, it's like putting the, you don't really think of it as much. And then it's very similar to, the frog in the pot of water. Like if you put a frog in some water, it won't jump out. You turn it to a rolling boil, it'll fall asleep and die, right? It's just, that's the thing. You don't see how painful all the money that is getting siphoned out of your accounts and trying to be taken from you in trading until you've gotten burned or you're dead. Or you're like 30 years from now, look, my 5% return over 30 years I think is a triple of your money. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in 30 years, inflation will have destroyed your buying power, so it gives you like 5 years to retire. Say you put away $30,000, to retire. No, let's be more realistic. Say you put $1 million a day today into a retirement account that made 5% a year. It'd be worth, say, $3 million in 30 years, approximately. Could I be wrong on this? Probably. Again, I'm just trying to remember numbers off the top of my head. Do you think $3 million is going to be a lot of money in 30 years? False. The answer is, survey says, whammy. No. It might be nice. You might be able to buy a pair of tires with it or something, or you might be able to buy the Tesla 8000. Yeah, I let everyone back. Again, if I just kick someone out, you can come back in. I'm just trying to get people who are involved. And if I am kicking you out because I don't think you're involved, well, then just reach out. The link is open, Jay. Again, I don't have any negativity against anyone who's ever joined. I mean, again, if we have disagreements because you've been a piece of crap to me or other people in the room, well, then yeah, you get a ban. But if you've been kicked out, no. That means when you're ready, again, anybody who's known me from the beginning of this knows that I give people essentially a timeout. And the timeout is not meant to be mean. It's the same thing as I would take personally when I was struggling. You need to recollect your thoughts. You need to take a break. You need to see why we say certain things. I don't think you were kicked out. What was your handle or your ban? I don't know. The people who keep joining, right, and just don't get involved, I've been booting them out because I'm like, you got 24 hours to at least say something. You join the room and you're just crickets. I'm like, all right, well then maybe you're a troll or you're just taking our information and sharing it with other people and taking it as your own, which I have seen people do that. And it's like, that's not cool. So I'd rather be a family. You spoke too much, I think. Okay, probably not, but I don't know. What was your name? It's funny. I mean, I can imagine there's probably Solomon's in there, even though he somehow snuck in at some other name. I'm trying to think, there's like the wizard guy. There's been a few people who've just been like kind of crazy. And again, when I say crazy, I mean, I don't think they realize like their own emotions into trading. Like you start trying to like talk to them and then they're just like, bah, flipping out. Oh, trader for life. All right. Well, if you want to know why I kicked you out is because, and you're going to argue with me, this is what'll be funny, and everybody who's around can confirm this. You like to pick and choose your points of views and then like argue them like you can't be wrong. And I can't remember what I said about something SPY 410 and then fail. And you were like, no, you said how to go this. I was like, dude, no. I said that was a possibility, not a certainty. And then you argue with. I'm like, I don't want to argue with people. Like, if you think my intention is to mislead you and lie to you, then get the hell out. Because that's never been my intention. And so if you're going to be defensive like that and be like that, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm sorry for swearing, but that's not my intention. And so trying to correct me once, and if I confirm it and look it up, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'll admit it. Every time. How many times I've been wrong in the market? I don't ever sit here and go, oh, don't lose. I don't care. But when you argue with other people because you have, again, and this is probably, and again, whether you join or not, I don't care. Everyone knows who you were. Your ego, your belief system, just like a lot of other people, is not pliable to reality. You get something caught in your head that this is what it is, you believe it's true. And whether you're talking about me, the trading, whatever, like I know you because I'm like that. I want to believe, we all do. When we have our thoughts, we have our mind, we have a belief that we can't be wrong. And so, I mean, you can join the room, but I can guarantee, like, trading is always going to be tough for folks who don't admit that to themselves. I mean, it took me way too long. Way too long. Like, stop caring about what once was said or thought or believed, and you have to be able to pivot mentally. I talk about this all the time. And that's why people go, oh, you flip-flopped or you change. I'm trying to pivot with the evidence. I'm trying to do what the market is doing. I mean, that's the goal here, is to continuously be updating the evidence and see how it plays out. And will you be wrong? Yes, you will be wrong. But to sit here and go, well, you got to believe this and stick to that, as the evidence changes, that's going to fuck you up. Excuse my language. That's going to mess you up. Because it's not the wins, it's when you're right that are the problem. It's when it's the one time. It's the one time, right, that you believe you can't lose and you go all in or you do something, and then what? You blow out your account. And then you blame everyone else but yourself. I've been there. So that's the value in this room. I don't care, but you just got to be friendlier with people. And have this mindset of flexibility. Like, I don't know anything for sure 100%, and I'm not going to try to, but I will say that I believe what's action is playing out in the market is a repeating pattern. And we talked about this with the SPY. I said this in the Discord room. I said, do you guys remember June? Do y'all remember June? Nobody thought the market was going to rise. I was like, don't be surprised if it retests at some point. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to blow out. It just made a higher high, retested, boom, and went higher. Again, it was the same thing. Everybody thought the market was going to absolutely fail and flop. Are we doing that again here? You kind of break out, and now you're retesting a couple weeks later? Maybe. That's how I look at it, because now I see every bear that I know has turned bullish, and every bull who's like in this perma bull mindset is what? Like, they're not going to sell. Perfect. Just like at the lows, we tried to tell you, like, you got to start looking for the longs. Now, again, patience. It's going to play out. Remember talking about buying here, right? Everyone's bearish. That was the easy no. And then we talked about, all right, I thought the market would roll over in December, maybe November. It didn't, right? We didn't go super bearish. Then it dropped, missed that move. I mean, I admit that every time. But then what did I say? This chop was probably going to lead back what? January effect. New money coming in was going to go up. Again, am I right about every little piece of the market? No, you can't be. But look at how we're able to predict 90% of the time. Remember, we called the top here. We got stopped out here, thought this. I was like, okay, and then waited. Boom. That's trading. That's pivoting. That's admitting to yourself that you, me, everybody here can be wrong. And if you can't have that flexibility with your mind, you can't handle the uncertainty, you should not be trading. Because there are going to be times when the market does things that you don't expect. And you don't know the hell why ever. You just don't. Yeah, refs don't get every call during a game. I hope I'm better than refs. But you know what I mean? Like, we're trying to use the sentiment. We're trying to use the recurring pattern. We're trying to use the market as it is. Because again, if you think the bear market's over, that's the low probability play here. Right? The VIX, when's a bear market this bad where liquidity is getting pulled out of the system for the next who knows how long, is going to bottom with the VIX in the 30s? Yeah, I don't want to be the Bengals refs. That was terrible, man. I feel bad for the Bengals. I would have liked to see them in the Super Bowl again. Right? Oh, the Laker game. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know that's what we do. That's what we do. Damn, SPY, nice bounce. I mean, again, I don't know. What did I say at the beginning of the video? We close at 405, we break out, or we flop, and then profit taking. Well, what time is it? Still got 20 minutes. This move doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't matter the next 20, 30 minutes. Tomorrow's the game, right? It's like we're watching the Fox pregame show, and they're getting all hyped about predicting the scores, and we're like, oh, they're going to know how this game plays out. Oh, hey, Terry Bradshaw, hopefully you live a little longer. Man, you look like crap. I mean, trying to predict the game before it happens here. And they're getting excited by, oh, did you see that? And this tendency. And it's like, okay, whatever, guys. Like, you guys have to talk about something because there's nothing to talk about because the game isn't being played. Well, that's what people are trying to really focus on. They're trying to focus on all this little in-between crap, and the game doesn't start until tomorrow. The game doesn't start till tomorrow. We talked about getting to 400, maybe 395. It bounced there. Okay, now we're back at 405. I roll the dice. I don't know. Do we want to pretend like we know for sure it's going higher or lower? No. I just don't care. Like, that's the thing here. Here's the mind being like, I don't care. I'm putting myself in a position where I just don't care. If it goes higher, I'd like to short it. If it goes lower, then I'll probably take profits. And then if it unloads, absolutely great. Again, the people who are doing well in the Discord room, and I love hearing it, they're like, Dan, it's amazing. I don't care. They're like, I don't care. When will I switch to longs? I won't switch to longs. If I miss a move up, I just wait. Did I switch to longs right here? Did I switch to longs in August? No. I just waited. Again, the risk isn't worth the reward at a certain point. Like chasing, this is where your brain, you're going, all right, well, you think somehow that the bull market's continuing. Like, this is why it's almost like, man, I should just short it. Just because you think that at some point it's going to continue higher and it's sustainable. That's the problem here. Now, again, could we say, could it get to 410, 415? Maybe. But no bear market has ever ended with the VIX under 30s, in the 30s. None. Zero. Pulling liquidity out. Problem. When is the last time the Fed's ever got inflation under control without bringing interest rates over the CPI rate? No, that's my point. Like, I don't know how much higher it goes. I don't care. I really don't care. And I hope it's not going higher, obviously. But again, I'm not going to switch to long. When will you switch to, like, that's the stupid play here. That's like being down here going, oh, well, I need to get more short. Oh, I need to get more long. Okay. Again, now could it play out where it chops around here, makes like chops in this range? I don't know. But would I go long? No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Nothing is fundamentally incorrect about going. And again, fundamentally, I don't really care. I'm like the market and what it's doing. If everybody hated the market and it was rallying, I might be inclined to think it goes higher. But everybody's bullish. Everybody's bullish. I tell you, every bear I follow on StockTwits is going, oh, I think it's going higher. I guess the bull market is starting. Again, they can't read through the news and realize every time, like we talk about, the news is meant to take your money. It's not meant to guide you and help you to help yourself in trading. That's the joke here. Take care, my friend. That's the reality here. It's like, holy crap. When would I switch long? That just goes to show me you probably shouldn't join the Discord room. Like, that's, again, you're not paying attention to the stuff that we talk about daily. That's absolutely crap. I mean, I'd rather stop out and wait than to go, no, it's a stupid question, though. If you're following the channel, like, where's the evidence? What evidence says it's time to go long? What evidence makes sense? Again, if you can't watch the videos and you can only bring out stupid, what I consider stupid opinions that are uninformed, then that's like, what the fuck? It's like, come on, man. Here, I'll show you again. God, it's like every day. You would think that someone wants to be in the Discord room and pays attention to what's going on. Do it for everybody again. Name a bear market that did not get up into the 40s. And there wasn't even bear markets, just pullbacks. Even if they were bear like bigger, decent pullbacks. I mean, we have not seen the capitulation in the market. Liquidity's coming out of the system. The Feds have to reduce their balance sheet. Is that bullish? They have to raise interest rates over CPI at some point to get it under control. Is that bullish? Unemployment is at the lows. It can only get worse. Is that bullish? But hey, if the market rallies up on it, you got to get long. I don't know. That just makes no sense. Again, that question implies, I don't even know. It just implies like, wow, go ahead. I mean, go long. I mean, what point would you go long? Again, I'd rather wait and not go long and wait for the better short entry. I mean, that question, if you can't see how that would infuriate me, again, you want to get in the Discord room, you follow the channel, you are in the channel. Like, what evidence out there that's been painted No, you don't see shit if that's what you say, and you don't see it all. You're not. I mean, I would say you don't see it all if that's what you think, because again, you're literally getting in line with everybody running off the cliff potentially. Is inflation under control? I don't know, but when's the last time the Fed pivoted and the market didn't tank when they did? Never. Because again, once the Feds pivot, now they're assuming a recession, the market goes. Now, could the market chop until then? Maybe. We've talked about it. It could chop. It could play a range. 360. Talked about this JP Morgan. They got their collar on. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. 40-30. Now, again, if you play bullish in between the trades and that's what you want to do, that's fine. But most people, again, and I don't recommend, you're a classic example of someone who's played a position, played a trade for a particular action and starts to believe that the direction is actually going in that direction for more than a day. I don't know what to say. It's kind of funny, but it is what it is. I mean, that's the thing. Like, do I want to short? Do I want to? I mean, again, you could play. Again, I don't care what people do intraday. Again, I'd rather just take profits, roll them out, move around. Do I want to start getting pick? Do I want to start playing the up move and play up trades? Again, that's like shorting down here. At any point, turns into a nightmare. How much higher? Again, we don't know. And does it blow out? For the love of God, I hope it does. I hope it does. Here's a monthly chart of the SPY. It literally went straight line move up. Oh, the bear market's over. Oh, on this decent rally, I should be buying it. Okay, well, good if you want to trade it, but the swing is to go long? No, I mean, what? No. I mean, maybe it has to get up to the 20-month. I don't know. Maybe it needs to get to the top of the box. I don't know. But I don't see anything out there that makes me think that it's worth being long beyond a certain, like, if you want to trade it. But again, I don't want people to get into the dopamine addiction of day trading constantly. Because the desire to be right leads to what? The desire to be more right the next day and the next trade and all the time. And the people, unless you can sit there and watch every freaking minute of every day, you're going to put yourself in a position where you go, well, I don't know. I think I'll be okay. I can't watch for the next one, but I trust that I'll be all right. I've been right about the last 20 trades. I'll be right about the next trade. Okay. Let's talk about Xavier this morning, like shorting the open. It's like, I don't know if I would do that. Just let it play out however it has to be. Yeah, but that's the thing. If you want to play the intraday action of every day in the SPY, that's not where the big money is. If you want to gamble aggressively, go right ahead. I mean, I know people. I used to do it. I used to play the OEX constantly. It's addictive. It's like trying to say that, oh, I'm not an addicted gambler and I sit at the casino all day, every day. I'm not addicted. I can walk away. Okay. I mean, that's the thing. If you don't know, the brain loves certainty. It'll start wiring paths to do exactly that. To stick into the gambling. Trying to get the immediate, the dopamine release of being correct always. That is a super addictive thing. And again, when you're doing great, you're great. But as soon as the trend changes, something changes, you take, again, if you're not paying yourself constantly, I'm talking like every day you make money in the market, you take it out every single day if you're day trading. No, at some point you'll grow your account and you'll blow something up. You'll make a mistake, or it'll be some news. You'll be watching the 10-minute on the SPY, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is easy. It's going up. It's going up. It looks great. Okay, cool." And then next thing you know, you turn around to go take a leak, go take a phone call, go grab lunch. And some headline comes out of nowhere. And if you didn't tighten your stops up and say you're playing options and all of a sudden the bid-ask spread opens a mile wide, you're screwed. you're screwed. But here's the thing, like the ego battle, like to even say like, all right, I don't even know how to. I've dealt with thousands of people like yourself, and I know how this ends for you. So you either take my advice or you don't. I really don't care. And I mean that in a nice way, because it's like I can't I can't care so much about your outcomes at a certain point if people aren't willing to like admit like, all right, well, that is gambling, Dan. Maybe I'll trade less things and more obvious. All right, well, I got to trade every SPY level. I have to make money every single day. Okay. There's some people that can do that, and there's some people who can't. If you have a full-time job, part-time job, whatever you want to talk about, and you can't give every minute, even if you give every minute, I'm telling you, your shoulders will start tightening up. Your blood pressure starts rising. Your hair will start falling out. The constant cortisol that's flowing through your body is not healthy for you. It's pretending to live in a casino and that you're living like your adrenals aren't going to get blown out. So again, people want to day trade all day or want to trade every trade. I get it. It's addictive. But at some point, this is what happens, and it's guaranteed because the psychology makes sense. You will blow out because your body subconsciously wants you to stop doing it. That's what people don't realize. Like literally, you will self-sabotage subconsciously because your body's like, you can't do this every day and survive. And if you don't know that, well, you'll learn it at some point. Everybody does. And I can freaking guarantee that. Because it's stressful. Trying to live your freaking market on every tick here. Oh, is this a doji to turn over? Is that a doji to turn over? Is that the doji to turn over? Is that the doji? Is that the doji? Oh, crap. Where's my stop? Well, I better sit here and watch this for the next hour and hope it doesn't move. So now you're sitting in a state of mental nervousness. I don't know. To make that 30 cents, that dollar, I don't know. Might sound like I'm being a jerk, but I'm telling you, it's because it's like, unless you're a robot, you cannot internalize this stuff without it affecting the rest of your life. Your day-to-day life, your interactions with your friends, your interactions with your kids, your interaction with your coworkers, it doesn't matter. To say that you can absorb the unknown constantly and somehow, again, you can have good systems. I mean, that's probably 90% of it, but then again, but why does there have to be a reason? I just made a joke about this, of like Fox News, like the game is tomorrow. Do we have to, and this is what CNBC does all day. They have to give a reason. I don't know. Short squeeze? You tell me. Again, I don't know. I said we go down, we probably chop, we could end higher. I said there's 3 scenarios here. You end at 405, you continue higher, or you start closing lower. Again, this action is meant to distract you from what's going on, potentially. How is this not obvious? I talk about this for like months with people. If you're following the channel, what is a trap? Goes a little lower, it goes a little higher to do what? Get you to believe that it can only go in one direction. No, this is like, again, I feel like this is like repeating myself. I feel like I'm repeating. Why is it going higher? I don't know. I don't really care. You never heard me say 405. Gosh, let me go post it. Let me check where it's at in the Discord room. God. No, I'm not. I don't care. You either, again, whether you do or you don't. I said it at the beginning. Go watch the beginning. Start over. Get out of here. Again, I haven't been able to tweet because I've said what? Look what happens here. I hit the tweet button. Nothing. I can't upload my charts, but I hit stock twits, it can. But I don't care about stock twits. You're doing the same stupid shit. You're asking me to confirm with you what you haven't heard. That's not my job, dude. Do you think I'm just making this up again? Do you think I'm just making up that I said it could go 405, pin, because it's the retest of what? The previous highs of the last week. Said it could scream a little higher, potentially, or it could come back down to 395. That's not my job to tell you what, to know, for you to know what I'm doing. Like, you have to do that. You see how annoying it is to be on this other side of that? And now I have to go look back through all my posts, or you can go start the video, or I literally said at the very fucking beginning. And now you're irritating, because this is what you do. You don't hear what you want to hear. Again, unreal. Unreal, man. I know what you said you saw, but if you don't follow all the time, I'm telling you what I said and you're telling me I didn't say that. You're doing it again. You're doing it again. You're being a freaking idiot. You're saying I didn't say that. I literally said at the beginning of the video. I said it in the Discord room. I said I don't know about today. I said they could pump it. They could talk about it going higher. They could talk about it dumping. I don't care. I don't care. I'd rather it go higher if I'm going to short. If I'm going to trade extremes. Would you rather short a swing trade higher or lower? Unfucking real. No, of course not. You're not allowed back in the Discord room ever, because this is how you are. You're holding me to some sort of standard of I have to keep you updated. It's not my job. It's your job to follow. If you're not following, great. And if I can't post it all the time, who gives a crap? Okay, well, if you're not here at the beginning, why are you asking? Why are you asking about it again? It's unreal. You're an idiot. You're an absolute monster. I don't get it. I'm telling you, I said that. I said it at the beginning of the video. It's in the Discord room. Everyone's confirming it. And you're saying certain things like, oh, you didn't say that. So again, if you don't trust my words that I'm telling you that I've said, then why do you care what I say? Why are you even here? If you're watching the chat here, it'll make you laugh. It is literally comedy. It is pure comedy. Or you just don't know how to communicate. Or I'm just an idiot. So I'm just going to assume I'm an idiot and you're the best communicator and we're wasting time. That's the easy way. Just blame myself. It just makes me laugh. Again, I think I said maybe 20 dozen times on the Discord room, tweeted out, I probably wouldn't be shorting today. I wouldn't be doing anything. I'd be careful here. Okay, it closes at the highs. Cool. Awesome. But you said it would go to 400. No, but that's not what you're focused on. Okay. But you said 395 is possible too. Oh, yep. Guess what? I mean, again, I don't know what you're trying to infer here from the market. You're doing what the market's doing? Cool. Great. Swell. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to, I'm not omnipotent, neither are you, but you're trying to, create some sort of, I said this, not said this. I don't know what you're saying. Yes, Kerwin, absolutely. Anything is possible at this point. The more it rips up, yes, thank you. You're not trying to predict. You're trying to go with the market. Love it. No one ever sees the point with Trader for Life. He literally lives on his own planet, dude. I mean, it's crazy. I should post the comments we had. And it was he could never admit that I did not say something until today. And then it's my job to, give him the piece of information that I said. No. You either follow or you don't. You're not in the Discord room. There's a reason. Anything is possible at this point. I don't know. And again, if I'm short, as I've talked about, 50% cash. Good. Perfect. Is it breaking the trend line? Well, remember, it broke the bottom end of the trend line at 1.2. Remember? Talked about this 1,000 times. Does it need to do that? I don't know. Remember, we talk about trend lines meant to confuse people. I love trend lines too, but sometimes what happens? They don't play out, right? No, this guy genuinely wants help, but he again, it's a never-ending mental debate, and I'm trying to be the mirror here. You see how stupid this conversation sounds, and how frustrating it is for everyone else? Imagine being on the other end of actually internalizing as I'm not at fault here. Squeeze. I mean, I said it. Squeeze up, close at 405, or get back down to 400, 395. Either way, I don't care. I don't have to trade today's action because I don't care. I'm putting myself in a position to save my mental capital. Talked about this all day and then save your mental capital for tomorrow. Don't blow out your mental capital today trying to predict what's going to happen when the market is just what? It's playing games before the Feds. And if it goes higher, cool. probably a better short. And as I talked about earlier in the video, we got stopped out here. It didn't mean, I'm going to all of a sudden turn and go long. No, it's like, all right, wait for the next upper range bound. Well, maybe that's all we got to do is get up to here. Maybe it's like Kerwin said. Maybe it's 41.80. I don't know. Those are all plausible spots. They make sense. And again, if you're long, cool. Again, I like when people are making money. I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I didn't see this coming. No, I told you, get to cash. The second mouse gets the trap. Be aware, it's going to be a busy week. And if you have shorts and you have time frames that aren't this week or next week, you're probably going to be okay holding out. I mean, that's the whole point here, right? So, cool. I mean, if it closes higher, great, and you have that trade. But if you think all of a sudden, like, this day is the sign of the market going higher, okay. I've said the Monday, Tuesday before the FOMC a bazillion times. I have a video on it. It's tough to know. It's really tough. It's choppy. It's sloppy. It's gonna be confusing. It's gonna get you to feel like the market has to go this way, that way, next way before they talk. And the reality is smart money positioning themselves big or large before the talk. It's like earnings. We don't know. And then, as we said 1,000 times, what happens? The Thursday after the Feds is usually the day. Well, then you throw in, you got Apple, Amazon, Google, and then you got a huge jobs number, which potentially could be revised down because of all the layoffs. Again, I actually, again, if I didn't care about people, I would ignore Trader for Life. But I actually genuinely like, dude, this is a massive problem on your part. Do not, like, again, if you are looking for me for your only answers, again, you're not owning the results then as well. I mean, I will be wrong. You will be wrong. Curran will be wrong. Someone here, Bob, everyone is going to be wrong. And is their intention to tell me what they think is going to happen is going to be wrong? Do I believe for a minute that any of you guys are trying to mislead anybody here? No. And so I'm never going to get mad if you're wrong either. Why? It's my decision to take your advice or not. That's the point. It's my decision. You talk, I listen, I choose to do it. You listen to me, your choice. If you don't want to own it, then I don't know how to explain this. I trust that everybody who follows me, that genuinely cares, has been involved, is not intending to mislead anybody. Just like if you know me, I'm not ever trying to mislead anybody. I'm more trying to protect people from what could happen. And sometimes you're like, you should be a little more risk averse. And it's like, man, I'd rather wait. That's why today, if you took profits at the open or yesterday at the 400 and you said, I'll roll up my stops, or you set whatever like targets you needed to have cash-wise going into this, and you didn't do anything the rest of the day, that's all you did. I mean, that's what I did. This morning I was gone. Closed out the Caterpillar put position that I bought before earnings, made 100%, closed it out, gone. Didn't say, I need to jump back short. No, I left because I thought in my mind, like, it's probably better that I leave. And don't even be tempted to think about shorting. Well, again, my instincts were right. Probably shouldn't have. Well, damn, Dan, you should have gone long. Well, guess what? If I don't get in at the low near 400, 401, am I going to turn bullish now? No. Because then I might get caught in the blender. What happens if we open it down tomorrow? No, I'm in between swing points. This is why this is either it's very simple or it's not. And again, someone has a target. If I don't agree with them and they don't agree with me, that's fine. But there's no reason to like focus on it. You do you. I try to help people. You try to help people. That's all you can do. If you're a good person, that's all it is. Ain't nobody here the market maker. As much as people try to pretend that or say like, oh, maybe they are. It's not. Yeah, I'm watching the earnings. Bam. Appreciate it. I'll post them once they pop. I might as well stick around for it. Because what's the problem here is if you held your longs into the close, what happens if Snapchat flops like it always does? Actually, let's just assume it does. But what if AMD says like every other chip company, they're anticipating weakness. They got too much inventory. They got too many problems in the market. Gaps down. Maybe it gets bought back up because it's the FOMC day. I don't know. But, I mean, at this point, I'm not trying to, like, I can't predict every intraday, every move from the next day to the next. It's just nuts. That's me being humbled by the market. Because it's happened. Oh, you think you know what's going to happen, Dan? Yeah, I do. And then it's like, well, you're not going to be right every time. So why do you try to predict every little thing? Well, you're right. You shouldn't. And to say for me, again, tweeting, look what happens when I press the tweet button. Nothing. It's busted. It is busted. Share on Twitter. Facebook. This is what I'm getting on Facebook now. All I can do is stock tweets, and I don't really like copy and paste because you can only put 100 characters in stock tweets, so I end up spending like 20 minutes cutting and pasting everything. So the market will fool you. You cannot predict. I mean, you can predict with probabilities, but not certainties. That's the big thing here. Can you explain dark pool print? Someone on stock tweets went for a dark pool print in the comments where it was extremely bearish. Again, I used to pay attention to the dark pools. I used to pay attention to the options, the big options trades as they go through. It's, again, dark pool money. Obviously, the purpose of dark pool money is for, say you don't want to, because again, think about how trades get paired off. They're trying to put trades through without advertising them to the market. So it's trying to find like almost off-market deals, right? To try to not influence the market, because it's like you got to buy 1 million shares, you got to sell 1 million. So these prints come through and they get taken off market, considered dark pool. Well, there's always money in the dark pool to absorb it. It's kind of like another system within the market makers' systems. Again, when I see these prints, say for example, you see like someone bought a ton of puts. Well, do we know if it's a hedge or an actual short? So that's where it's like, it's genuinely curious to hear this information, but I don't. Again, this isn't like when I started in the late 90s or 2000s. Like that kind of stuff was like nobody talked about it, and it was like very easy for them to sneak their trades in and do that stuff. And then if you were paying attention, like it actually mattered. Now the money is so, like the market's so, I mean, it's trillions of dollars, right? Trillions of dollars flow through the market every day. So does a $1.5 billion dark pool print, is that really bearish? I don't know. I mean, if it's 0.1% of the market, maybe. I don't know. Again, it's a hard thing to know. That's why it's, again, we're simplicity. Like I can't really know everything about everything. Like I just try to look at repeating patterns, the levels, the market, what's going on, the sentiment, how are people positioned mentally. Again, because that's where it's great to use stock twits or use FinTwit as like a gauge of it, because that's where I follow. I mean, think about the people who have tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of followers who post certain things, right? Well, again, and this is the thing, like I was looking at Wifey, what's her name? Alpha Wifey. I mean, she's always screaming that she's right and that, you guys are losers and you're wrong if you don't believe me. And it's like, you can tell immediately, like these people have very low IQ, like emotional IQs. Like you can't be like that. Like I can't get mad and emotion to the market when I'm wrong. I just need to cut my losses, or I need to know like what's going on and be patient. It's the people who look like they're emotional all the time. Like that's, you got to be careful, because that doesn't mean they're sound mentally for trading, right? Because if you get high when you're right and down when you're low, like you have no confidence, then you really don't have faith in your systems, and you also don't have faith in the future, right? Like getting excited until you literally put the money in your pocket, pay yourself, pay your taxes, take your family, whatever you need to do. Until that money is literally in your pocket, it's not real. Western Digital misses by, here I'll just, it looks like the FOMC leaked. I don't think the FOMC leaked. Everyone knows it's a 99% odds of a 0.25 rate hike. Oof, that is not good. That is not good. Check this out from Western Digital. But how will the market react? I don't know. Again, I'm sticking around. If you got to go, you got to go. Again, Trader for Life, I'm not mad at you, dude. It's just like you're no different than you were like a month ago. And again, I can't like help yourself beyond a certain point without it being just like incredibly frustrating, because you're the type of person that has in your mind how you see things, and the world is just whatever. I don't know how to explain it. I run into this a lot with folks that have Indian descent, like they have like a strong ego, or like someone like me comes from an alpha who wants to be alpha. Like those things are things, they don't work. You can't be a alpha and dominate the markets. No, you're just trying to do what the market's doing. So you kind of have to change your, I don't know, be flexible. Yes, pivot with your personality, flexible with your personality, be more humble. Again, if the market's rising at the end of the day and it's doing what it's doing, that's, again, you shouldn't be up or down. You're like, oh, that's cool. That's great. Probably should take profits. Be careful. Yeah, take care, Neo. I'm just curious. I want to see, AMD, we're so close at this point. I'd really like to see what they do and what the market does. But that's Western Digital. Not so hot right now. I'd be curious to see what WDC is doing after hours. Because, again, bad news, reaction, I don't know. Okay, well, I guess, when you miss, guide down, and earnings guidance includes underutilization charges in the flash, and yeah, they're taking write-offs. Yikes. Now people argue, oh, well, the market's this market. I'm telling you right now, please ignore the narratives. Ignore the bullish narratives. Again, think about what is coming. You just don't know when. Do you think we're going to get out of this without a currency crisis? We're not going to get out of this with the VIX getting up into the 40s, maybe 50s. It should probably get up to at least 80 or 90, considering it's a bear market. Do you think we're going to get out of this and it's going to be lollipops and rainbows at the bottom? And everyone can just buy SPY 400 and ride it off to SPY 8,000 for the next 5 years? No. It just doesn't. That's not how bear markets work. Like, at the bottom of a bear market, and maybe I should say this more often, people are jumping out of buildings. People are quitting trading. People are literally closing up accounts, giving up. The market is done. The market's done. That's how you know it's a bear market low. Have we gotten to that point? And within a grade of whatever, give or take percentage-wise of that extremism. But that's what it feels like. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? I would argue not even close. A 25 to 35% pullback in a bear market just seems like a chop. Let's snap. Oh, God. No, snap! No! I had long calls. I'm just kidding. Yeah, EA. Oh! It's a bull market. No! Again, the data, if I read the earnings, this is the thing when you read like Western Digital, you start seeing like there's no like, they're kitchen sinking the quarter, which is great for them potentially, right? But like to read it and go, they have visibility that looks good out into the future. No, not at all. Right? Gosh, snap. Does it rally back? I don't know. But this is my biggest concern. Again, like if you day traded and you didn't take any profits into the close, like you're rolling the dice every day during earnings, because bad news is good news and bad news is bad news. You know what I mean? Like I feel like at some point, depending on how high the market rallies, I've said this 1,000 times, or when it plays out, what time is it next week? Does Apple trigger it? Does the Feds trigger it? Does the jobs numbers trigger it? Does the Bank of Japan I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm not as concerned about getting ripped, shredded, being short, than being long. I hope that's very clear. And if inflation kicks up and all of a sudden it starts to rally, and like they did, and again we get like the Argentina style rally, well, hopefully I am stopped out. You, me, whatever. And if we have to, then we'll realize, like, okay, yeah, the dollar's going to nothing, and everyone's given like lack of faith in currencies, and they're just buying stocks. Okay, like very well aware of that scenario potentially. I will not stay short. That's for damn sure. So again, if I'm anticipating what is will always be until it's not, because betting against the U.S. dollar, betting against America, that trade hasn't worked out really well. And again, I honestly think the first event would be a down before the up, if it was going to be a fade. That's my guess. Like global liquidity would be unloading the U.S. stock market at a rapid rate if they thought things were going to happen that were severely traumatic. I mean, that to me would make more sense, right? The U.S. and the dollar lost all of its currency, or currency recognition. It's going to be down. Mitch, Match.com. Uh-oh. Please don't tell me this is down. Please don't tell me this is down. Oh my God, I bought so many calls. No. No, I'm just kidding. No one's guiding well. Trash is floating up. Tech is trash. And then when they have to actually report, here you go. I mean, I'm going to stick around till the AMD. I think are they 420? Oh no, my Bumble calls. Bzzz. They're gone. They're absolutely gone. Curran, how you doing, buddy? I'm always rooting for you, man. If you're listening. Always pulling for people. Because again, everybody struggles at some point. Again, I mean, you're going to have a bad month, a bad quarter, a bad year, a bad something. Hopefully you learn to make things less bad. And when they're bad, they're not deathly bad. You're able to rebound and make higher highs and higher lows in your accounts. Because with every mistake, every loss comes what? Knowledge. What's USFD? Man, we're pulling out some of the U.S. food holding. Oh, God, I bought calls on that too. No, I'm just kidding. Is AMD out? Please tell me it is, because then I can end this. No, I'm just kidding. I'll just confirm kind of what I was thinking. Okay, now AMD. Someone's going to say I didn't say this. Didn't I say, come on, 200-day? I said 200-day, right? Remember, like Microsoft? I know Trader for Life's going to say, I don't know where you posted that. Okay, well, again, if you don't follow and you weren't there, then I'm just lying as usual. I'm just always lying, this guy. I'd watch 7980. Advanced micro, here you go. Slight beat. Again, it's hard to know what's like a beat and what's a miss, considering we don't know. Again, at least I haven't been paying attention. Did they guide down previously? I mean, what were their earnings previously? 0.67, 0.6, because you have to go to the year-over-year numbers. I'll get some of that here in a second. It just popped up on briefing. No, I don't have any puts on AMD. I've got puts on the SMH, though. And I've got Soxus. Oh no, their guidance doesn't look that hot. That midpoint is not hot. Let's see what happens back to the stock. Oh, still rallying. Bad news is good news now. I'm telling you, watch. If you see 79 and you want to take the stock short, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I might have to tee that one up. Might put 80 just to be safe. Let me, let's go back to briefing. I need to get, I probably should, see, I don't want to listen to the damn, I don't want to listen to their conference call. Man, if it fails at 78, give me a second. I'm going to put an order in real quick. What's enough risk to make enough sense to care? Oh, there you go, Metas. What Meta will close at 149? It's down at, all right, yeah. Where are you, AMD, on the trade list? Did I take you off? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put a 250 share order in at 80 to short. If it hits it, great. If it doesn't, I don't care. I'm going to use my reference as the 200-day. I mean, do we really rip much higher? I mean, probably going to try. Now, this is the thing. After hours versus what regular hours. I mean, if I get 80, I feel pretty comfortable in that, giving it a couple points to play games. AMD is definitely out. Let me try to get, again, briefing's really good about, they release like the numbers like as they're coming in, and then they put it all together to one whole, like, so because what they'll get is like pieces of the headlines. They'll get like their current numbers, they'll get like their forward guidance, they'll get their forward yearly outlook. I mean, they'll get a little more information. Just give it to me, or give me a second. Pretty interesting how literally everything else smoked. Hold on, there's another one that just popped out. All right, who's been trading long enough to remember this name? Juniper Networks. Oops. That looks like a little spilled milk, if I had to guess that. Snap beats, internal forecast below. They're not providing Q1 EBITDA guidance. Bullish. So bullish. That's really bullish, Snap. Yeah, come on, 80. Just go 80. Don't care. Wow. Just curious. Let me throw Snap back in there because that's just, man, I'm just reading their stuff. It's like I need to sell more goggles. I need to sell some more goggles. Let me move this up so I can see if people are asking questions. Again, this is a long one. All right, here is the, wow. They expect gross margins to be 50%. Oh, wow. Wow, I don't trust that for a minute. Sustaining. Here is like their information. Chew on that for a second. Down. Data center up. Embedded segment revenue driven by the inclusion of Xilinx. Okay, that's cool. Remember, they bought out. Non-GAAP gross margin 51%. Guidance midpoint. Remember, you always take the midpoints. That's below. It's have to be partially decline, partially embedded. But yeah, I mean, again, it's, I don't know. Is it good or is it bad? I was like, oh, whoa, is that Snap? Or sorry, is that AMD? Like, damn, well, I missed that. The high 78, 80, 553. Again, I don't know if it'll get 80. I'm about to walk away. Any questions, thoughts, concerns? And now again, man, like, if I ever seem to be frustrated by someone, it's like, man, I'm trying to make a point. That's why I boot people. I'm not like mad at anybody. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe you can't see your own misery. And that's the thing. I think people made me realize that many years ago. Like, dude, you're the one causing your own problems. You're the one who's trading. Don't blame anyone but yourself. No, but no. I was following this guy. I was following mentor told me this and this happened. And then it's like, all right, you want to get mad at them? Or do you want to get mad at yourself and just realize, like, you hit enter, you hit exit, you pick the options, you pick the stock, you pick your stops, you pick the trailing stops, you pick when to take profits, you pick everything. Yet, when you're wrong, you're going to blame someone else. Got it. Makes sense. That makes sense. That's logical trading. It is the unnecessary stress flag. No, and again, because I actually care. Trust me, when I don't care about something, you know. Because I just don't care. I won't respond. I won't acknowledge. I just don't care. Again, the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. It's total indifference. Not caring. All right, well, you suck at trading. Great. I tried to help you and you failed, or you're struggling. Whatever. Great. That indifference would be the absolute sign of an FU. No, I actually care. I'm trying to help you out here. I'm like, what is going on here? All right, I don't know if AMD is going to get there. Do you have any last thoughts, questions, concerns? Oh, man, a bunch of insurance carriers came out. I'm just curious to see how they're doing. Chubb. Oh, yeah, it's CB, duh. CB, duh. Okay, I mean, it's interesting how volatile this thing has gotten. Unum Group, if I remember right, isn't that still Unum Health? Or it's not Unum Health, but Unum Life Insurance company. Okay, not really much. There's a bunch of earnings obviously coming out. Edward Life Sciences. This is another bio. Curious just to see how they're reacting. Uh-oh, we got a Solomon. Hold on. Everybody, come in. Solomon, talk to me, bro. Talk to me. Tell me how much. Tell me about Soxus, please. You've got the mic. I am letting you speak, my friend. Talk. Please talk. Say whatever you think is right. I need to hear it. Sometimes it's good to have a voice outside of the yes sir code. Yep. Yeah, tell me more. Please. Tell me more. I need it, man. I need your opinions. I love your opinions. absolutely love your opinions. It's appreciated. Because I don't think you realize we took a lot of profits on things, trading around positions. But no, it's all good. Yeah, I'm definitely short AMD 100%. That's what happened. I just got killed. I just got absolutely killed in shorting AMD. No. Nope. Red alert, hold on. Live chat. I mean, again, if it's a cult, it's interesting. Yeah, it's a cult. I mean, I guess if that's what you want to believe. I mean, I make you hit enter. I make you short. I am in control of your trading accounts. I am not a voice of... No, come on, man. Come on, man. Please tell me some more about your trading. I'd love to hear about it. Because again, if I didn't care about you, I think I would just shut you down. Anyone get... Man, we got really close to filling my 80 order. I really was hoping for that 200 day. Remember we talked about... Where is it? It's like, man, I'm so excited to see freaking Solomon on the freaking chat. It's a lot, man. You can't make... This is a highlight day. Talked about a little over the 200 day would be a pretty solid short. We got to 78.55. Let me bring back special guest Solomon. Please feel free to continuous update what's going on. Dan, you're having to... I'm trying not to have fun. Now it's like I was about to go, but Solomon's here. It's like, hold on, I got to get out the pen and paper. I'm going to re-record this and let this guy talk and tell me how terrible... Well, actually, no, I really want to hear what his forecast is. I'd love to see it. I would love to know what the genius that is. Who, again, every time I'm wrong, he pops up right before I'm about to be right. Or I'm just, as I've said a million times, most of y'all know, typically early. Am I wrong? Yeah, I'm wrong. Never said I wasn't. Never said I couldn't be wrong. And again, your brain should be what? You should always have in the back of your mind you can be wrong. But I always really, truly care to hear what Solomon has to say. Because I think his forecast is probably more important than everything I've just said. Oh, the mic is yours, my friend. The mic is yours. Soxus, what, close at 24? Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, my God. It's over. It's absolutely over. Losing trade. Definitely going to get killed on that one. Chips are the future. Tech is the future, right, guys? It's always the future. Duh. Come on, Solomon. You're going to pop in talking junk. What you got, man? What you got? Talk to me, buddy. Talk to me. Talk to me, friend. You like to... Again, I mean, I appreciate your trolliness. It doesn't mean you hate me. It means you clearly love it. Clearly love it. I mean, again, if I could figure out what percentage of viewership is you alone, it's probably you're one of the top 20 followers, and I appreciate that. I just think you have gotten frustrated with the insights that are just what? Not always wrong? Not always right. I don't know how perspective you want to put it, but wow. Again, feel free. Feel free to say whatever you like, my friend. I mean, you can talk junk. I don't care. You said something like Tesla's earnings were... I think we said Tesla's earnings weren't going to be bad. No, Tesla's earnings weren't bad. Were bad. The reaction we talked, we didn't know. And if you do remember, and I know you won't give me credit for this, but did we not say you could buy Tesla between 108 and 104? Did we say that? Actually, go watch the recap. Yeah, we talked about it. Oversold. We talked about capitulating. We talked about what? Sentiment being way too bearish. And it rallied. Okay. I was wrong, I guess, if that's how you want to look at that. Now it went higher in earnings. Well, again, do I hold through earnings? Do you know why I don't hold through earnings? Right? Yeah. Yeah, you have a serious gift of like being in tune with the market and being like very emotional at inflection points. And as soon as like again, I'm talking to you right now, man. Everyone else, I don't care. You talk junk, and literally the next day Tesla drops 10 points. And I'm not gonna say like, oh, you're dead wrong on it. It was like not surprising. Like as soon as you get excited about something, is like me when I first started. Like I didn't know anything, and as soon as I thought confidently with 100% clarity that the market was going to go up or go down, it'd pull the rug on me or something would change. And again, keep in mind, you are one of these special people in August who, again, we stopped out early. I've never talked about it, like near around the 100-day. When it got up to 200, you're like, oh, the bull market started, and you pulled up all these charts from 2016, 20, all these other things. It was wrong. Again, like again, I don't know where you get your information from. And again, if you want to be cool and friendly, you should talk. Again, because I'm talking directly to you because I appreciate you. But it's one of those things. Like, again, some people are literally tuned into the market makers, and it's like it's like blue or green or whatever, blue or red pill in the Matrix. I mean, and not you, but in general, like the average trader, information comes directly from the Matrix and how they feel and believe, and they can't see how the market really is actually trying to take every inch of their livelihood, take every penny from them. No different than being drained in the Matrix like a battery. I guess that's an interesting analogy. Oh, man, it's too bad. I wish you would have had the yes, sir cult. Nobody's yes, sir. I mean, there's no one forced here. Yeah. Again, I mean, I should have known. Damn it. I should have shorted as soon as you popped up because I'm pretty sure it was at like 78.50. And I said I'll wait for 80. Oh, your timing is amazing. Amazing. And it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like being a bookie. I'd love to take your bets. I'd love to take your bets. Because again, you might get right for a little bit of time. And that's the market does that. But I can pretty much guarantee you are the slaughter. And if you think what I preach is some sort of cultish thing, then again, I don't know who you follow for legitimate information. Because if your information comes from following the herd and following CNBC and following some of the smart people who are posting on social media, go check their background. I guarantee they don't have, they might be some macro genius, but I guarantee they couldn't trade their way out of a wet paper bag. Because they don't have all the pieces together. Yeah, you can be a great understanding the economy, but can you trade the markets? Oh, you're good at, understanding what's going to happen with earnings and interest rates. Can you trade the market? I mean, all that stuff doesn't matter. And again, the only reason why again, you probably think I'm talking junk, but I genuinely like, dude, you literally have been one of the only people that I've seen consistently throw shade every time at inflection points, and it's like, holy crap. Now, maybe you've been in the trades and you're winning. I'll give you credit for that. I'm not going to say that, like, oh, you got in long Tesla at 180. I'm not going to be a jerk. But as soon as, like, you are 1,000% confident that you can't be wrong and that me, my friends, this group is 1,000% dead wrong, what happens? Survey says wrong. So, yeah, Meta dropped the moment Solomon showed up. Wow. Yeah, again, a lot of people are your fans, bro. They're absolutely your fans. I am too. I guess you're not going to say anything now. You're a little shy, which that's fine. Again, I mean, I would hope no one disrespects you, but I'm just telling you right now, like, again, you probably bought Tesla when I recommended it. Would anyone guess? Does anyone remember what we talked about? Again, I'll let people, what price area did we say you could start buying Tesla? What levels? Just for the cult, obviously, not for you. Don't, because you probably follow, but you're not going to say that. What prices did we say? Oh, let's go to the charts, because the charts are where the evidence lays. That's where the lines are drawn. That's where the lines have been drawn. Where? Where did we say that? Where? Didn't we say the volume exploded down here under 110? And they had the capitulation. Yeah. Now, if you held it, congrats. That's cool. I'll take 20% and move. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't bearish down here. I mean, it was like gold. Like, all right, I guess I'll go bullish. Like, it's down so much and hated so much. Yeah, I started talking about you could buy it down here. But if you held it, congrats. Again, that's why I'm going to give you credit here. If you held it through and you rolled the dice, congrats. But literally, I think you threw shade on the weekend recap. And look how awesome this is. This is that Friday that he was like, oh, you've been dead wrong on Tesla. Look what happened the next day. 10 points. No, 15 points. Oh, gosh. So, again, I mean, the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. Oh, yeah, Netflix definitely did, man. Oh, yeah. And again, that's sort of the thing. Those bigger stocks that move quicker. Same thing like First Solar. You got to like trade around them, or you got to be very cognizant. Like, do not go all in short dated puts, or don't go all in your entry, right? Well, if he's not going to talk at the moment, I'll keep you guys updated, because I feel like I'll take this off the screen, then I'll get 17 comments like, you are such a jerk. Why are you doing that and saying that? It's like, no. Like, and so here, this is the thing about like Meta, right? Getting in around like 140s. It made sense. And then we said, well, don't be surprised it gets to the 200-day, right? Well, if the market held up, like that was always has to be in the back of your mind. We talk about like, all right, do not try to convince yourself you can't be wrong. I hope you'll realize, like, when I say these things, it's okay. The people who've been around, they get it. Like, yeah, there's a reason why you're saying watch this area, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. However, remember, we talked about this could be a short, and I was like, no, the market looks strong. January effect, nope. I mean, again, this is the thing. I have a pretty good memory of things, because I remember pain. I remember positive emotion. I remember these things. I remember when I was right and when I'm wrong. And so, like, for example, like Netflix, shorting this around, what is it, 340s? Yeah. Okay, went a little higher. If you got stopped out, you got stopped out. Again, I had such a small position that I'm like, all right, well, I'll see what happens here. Started adding more up here, and today's action, again, and again, in the back of my mind, am I sitting here going, this has to dump? No. I have to wait for the feds. I have to see if there's going to be a pop. I have to see if there's going to be a retest. And if not, great. I hope this makes sense, because this is what trading really is, y'all. It's not this game of like, he said, she said, you're right, I'm wrong, whatever. It's more like, how do you internalize the probabilities, and how do you handle when you're wrong? And when you're right, where do you go look for your information? Do you go confirm it on StockTwits, FinTwit, CNBC? And again, I apologize, it's a long video, but do you get super like wrapped up on how everyone else is getting excited? Or do you sit around and you go, all right, I am in a winning trade, and as soon as everybody around me thinks that it can't go down, I need to look at myself and go, the probably easy money has been made. Now, does it mean it has to drop? No, not necessarily. But if the easy money has been taken or being taken, remember, the market maker is using the superfluous positivity to unload into, and they trade around their position, then you need to be thinking like them. Oh, but you'll miss out on some moves. Yeah, but I also won't get rear-ended when something on the backside happens, right? Like, how many times have you seen a name that you're in, a name that you think can't go lower, a name something? I mean, I'll end it with this. And again, I appreciate it. AA. This is a classic example of taking your damn money at your spot and rolling up your stops. Look at that. And again, since I'm a crappy trader, I'll tell you where my crappy entry was and where we got in around. You know, we got in around here. Rode it up, pulled back, rode it up, took profits, gone. 1,000% gone. Gone. Gone, girl. Oh. That day, up, flop. And then if you didn't take any, I mean, it pulled back 58, 57, whatever, down to 49. There goes 17%. Now, we talked about watch what happens down here. I mean, it's obviously a zone. But does this make sense? Like, your profits are not real until they're taken. And I don't care how smart you think you are, but if this is a bull market, yeah, maybe you can be smart and you can go, well, you know what? I'll just wait it out. Well, that's easy. Well, this is not a bull market, so waiting it out does not guarantee you anything. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? I really, again, 2 hours, and I mean, someone popping in. I mean, again, special guest, Solomon. Solomon, do you have any Fin? Do you want to drop some links I can share with everyone so they can follow you everywhere? I mean, do you want to be followed? Because I mean, again, you are special, bro. You are special. And I'm going to be there, and you're going to be there on every minute of my life, correcting every time I'm wrong, which is cool. I don't mind haters. Just be careful where you hate at. Just remember that. By the time you get confident in your trade, you're probably wrong. Any last words? Yeah. Going into tomorrow, let's bottom line it then, right? AMD, if 80 hits, I'm shorting. Like it after hours. If it doesn't, I don't care. What I would say going into tomorrow. Remember, it's the Fed day. Everybody's bullish. Every dip has been rewarded. At some point, no different than what? What do we talk about? If you've been in the room, you're new to the room, or you're new. If you're new to the cold, no, it's just new to the probabilities. We said exact same thing. Down here, everybody thinks the market's going to go to the crapper. It's game over. Down here, same thing. Everyone thought the game was over. Done. Up here, everybody thought new bull market's coming. Now, in December, it didn't feel like, we climbed the wall of worry. And that's where, people are like, oh, you missed this move. And I was like, well, yeah, because I didn't really sense that the world was actually, like, superfluously bullish. I can't keep the words popping in my head for some reason. No. Well, now it is. Fear and greed up in the 70 level. Sentiment is all in. Do we need a retest? Maybe. I can promise the best risk reward is the what? Have time if you are shorting for a bigger move. Could we go higher? I don't know. It just feels very reminiscent of a lot of these choppy bottoms and choppy tops. Now, as much as we want to see the straight line move, that's why these were always the hardest, right? Because they were just straight line bear market rallies. Well, now we've gotten to the point where, again, I hate to ramble on, but this is the truth. Like, look what the VIX has done. Luckily, you have not been short constantly. Right? Now that you have the VIX down in the 18s and 19s, it makes sense to buy puts. I appreciate your comments, my friend. Short the pops. I agree with you, my friend. Again, but that's the thing. If you are all in short before the FOMC, before the big earnings on Thursday afternoon, if you're short before the jobs numbers, all in, that's on you. That's dangerous. Batman top. Does Dan bully people that go against his strategy? I'll let them answer it. I don't bully anybody, dude. You don't understand, like, imagine, and again, if someone who actually cares tries to help you and tells you things with the best intention, is that bullying? You don't even know your own, you don't even know your own, like, weaknesses. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a bully, man. I'm an absolute bully. No. I'm not a bully. I am wrong at times. However, I will absolutely destroy somebody who pretends to know what they're talking about. And then when they're wrong, 1,000%, I will call them out. Just like you can call me out and I don't care. But what are the odds that I am wrong? How many times am I wrong, guys? I'm right 8, 9 out of 10 times. Intraday trading, I've told you, 65, 70%. I'm not that great. That's, again, but to be perfect, it's hard. But the swings, how many times? Who told you right here the market could not confirming the next breakdown and that the market could rally? I don't know. Remember that guy? Yeah, I don't either. Oh, that's me. Remember that? Sorry, up here. Remember that? No, it's what was it? No, it's God. I'm getting all confused. All right, whatever. Who remembers shorting there? Who remembers buying down here? Maybe a little early, right? Talked about who remembers the June trade. Who remembers the oil short? Who remembers? Who remembers? Who remembers? Now, again, you can call out all the times I was wrong. I don't mind. I mean, I can tell you very clearly when I was wrong. But I can tell you just as well as when I was right. Who remembers telling you the dollar was going to flop when everyone thought the market was going to fail or rip to, get smoked? And I was like, this dollar action doesn't look bullish to me. Right? Oh, you were wrong on the TLT. Yeah. But what did we talk about? This higher low is good. Again, is it bullying to be honest with somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about? Do you want someone as a teacher, mentor / friend to say, hey, yeah, you should go marry that trashy girl or guy or person? Oh, hey, you should. You've been trading for a couple of years. You don't know what you're talking about. No. But again, you still have to choose whether you listen or not. And if you don't like how I say it, because I literally have given you multiple opportunities to understand, like, hey, dude, you literally get on the bandwagons right before they pull over. Again, whether you think this is some sort of bully, no, it's like, if you don't see that I care and know that everything you've done and are doing is wrong, then I should say nothing. Then I'll say nothing and let you do it and continue to fail. But if you come into the room and you hang out and you genuinely invest time in the channel and yourself, and you don't want me to be blatantly honest with you, because I've made and Solomon, I'm talking to you, you stupid fuck. I've made every mistake you've made 1,000 times, essentially. And I mean that with passion. I have made every mistake you've made. And for someone to sit there and watch it and go, wow, that's bullying when that guy tells me I'm making a mistake or I'm doing something wrong. No, it's because I actually care. I genuinely care. And I can see it. Just like your parents give you guidance, just like you give your friends guidance, just like whatever background you come from and know, you help folks, that's what I'm doing. So if you think I'm a bully because I'm dead honest when I think someone is dead wrong, again, I'll be dead wrong too. And if I am and you want to call me out it, I'm not going to be mad at you for saying, hey, you were wrong, Dan. No, it's how can I be better? That's the only question I ever ask myself. How can I be better? How can I make sure that people following understand, like, I am not perfect. You're not going to be perfect. We are all going to make mistakes. But to sit around here and to, like, attack people at the extremes, I love it. Dude, you continue to do that for the next 20 years. And literally, I guarantee someone will, again, if you just continue to do what you're doing, I can guarantee you're going to be a statistic. I can want that instead. You think I'm bullying? No. When you're a beginner at something, and I'm a coach, you're a coach, and I'll end it on this story. If you say, hey, I want to be a great basketball player, I want to be a great tennis player, I want to be a great golfer, I want to be great at my job. And you say, hey, Dan, Eric, whatever, whoever your teacher, mentor is, I want to be great at something. Do you follow their advice, or do you try to figure out every reason why they're wrong? So again, it's do you even want to start there? Okay, well, if you believe that this person's intention is to genuinely help you, if your ego is so fucking huge that all you're going to do is try to pick apart every little thing because you see it as like, well, I'm right, you're wrong, you don't realize that every wrong I've made, there's nothing I have not done at some point, because I always tried to figure out, like, well, maybe there's a better way to do it. And then I realized, like, no, simpler is better, actually. But again, that's a whole other story. But this is the point, though. How much effort do you want to give into doing this? And then if someone's honest with you and you don't care, you don't care. Again, if you call this a cult, then that's fine. I can show you how well people have done it, the feedback I get. Again, and I don't really care about the numbers, because again, whether you treat $5 the same or $5,000, you're setting yourself up for success or failure by how you treat the markets. If you call this a cult and you think that's insulting, okay, well then you just don't understand. And again, nobody makes anybody do anything. So for you to say that, you're just insulting a bunch of people you don't know. Because if they're happy, they're learning, they're growing, then who's the problem? You. Because I guarantee at every inflection point, you've been dead wrong, dude. And Eric, you took my words. This is hilarious. If I am not any value, then why are you watching literally every video of every day? That's all I'm going to end it on. It's just funny to me. Literally every video. Clearly there's some value in it. So hopefully you are making money. Again, I'm not a hater. And just keep in mind, who was actually telling you, look, the market looks like it's bottoming. This isn't bearish. How many people remember I said the January effect is coming? And the joke of it's literally the last day of January. And since I am just always dead wrong, and this is a cult, and I'm an idiot, right? And you're following here to come here to troll and say that I'm an idiot, right? Ended on this. Who said the January effect? Who said the market would rally into January? Who said the market? Answer the question, Solomon, because it's in the freaking videos, dude. Who said the market would rally? January effect. It's the last day of January. Peace out.